Hello everybody, welcome back to another Vlogmas video. I am so excited because today we are coming along with me for a Saturday in my life. I typically use Saturdays as like a reset day, a day for me to do a lot of preparation around the house. We've been making a lot more of our own things like bread and broth and more things from scratch, and I use Saturday a lot to make that happen. And that sounds like I'm adding a lot of work to my plate, but this is like fun for me. This is a hobby. It also doesn't feel like something I have to do. It feels like something I can put down at any time. I don't feel guilty if I don't do it. It's just fun for me, quite frankly. So we are starting off this morning making some English muffins. It's Saturday, right? So typically on Saturday we sleep in. We like to have like a good cuddle sesh every weekend morning because Obi and I don't have the same weekends, but in general, we tend to both get up at 5 in the morning from Monday to Friday. And then on the weekends, we like to sleep in usually till about 8 and just kind of typically have a slow morning. Sometimes, like today, that's not the case. I kind of accidentally just hopped out of bed and started doing stuff. So, it took some time. I sat down, I did have coffee, I read, we hung out, but I kind of just, my brain wanted to move today, and that's kind of what we did. So I just went ahead and put the dough for the English muffins in the bread maker. That does most of the work, right? It just sets you up pretty strong, and that's been really nice. So right now it's just mixing and rising there. And I'm just refilling some things, consolidating some things. I had some extra flour that I bought. I accidentally bought all-purpose flour instead of bread flour, and I bought a big old bag of it. So, oops, we're just going to work with it for a while. It's not the end of the world, The difference to me is minimal. I know if you're a serious bread maker, it probably isn't minimal, but for me, it kind of is. And now I'm just consolidating our rice. I love this nishiki rice. It is so good. But we also have some other like long grain white rice that I'm just also kind of mixing in there, putting it all in one place and putting the cup, like the measuring cup from our rice cooker, fit in there perfectly, which I was kind of thrilled about, if I'm honest. And I typically watch YouTube videos anytime I'm doing a chore. It kind of like brainwashes me into like having fun. And it does feel really fun. It feels like play for me. So to shape the English muffins, this is my very first time ever making English muffins, by the way. I would share the recipe with you, but I feel like it's not quite there yet. I have things I still want to perfect about it. But essentially, you roll it out until it's, I guess they say, a 1/2 inch thick. And then I cut it with a mason jar lid. And then you fry them on a skillet. I sprayed mine with avocado oil. And it said about 7 minutes. And some of them took longer, some of them took shorter. But they end up looking like English muffins, which is really cool. What I'm doing now is while the English muffins are cooking, because that took some time, because it's about 7 minutes on each side, and I could do 3 at a time. So it needed a lot of attention. But while this was happening, I was also baking some sandwich bread. We'll talk a little bit about how that went later. Again, this is my first time ever making sandwich bread. I'm learning all of these things, on my own through YouTube and just kind of figuring things out as I go. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm just kind of trying stuff, making tweaks. This is the first time I decided to bake something in my bread machine. So I've only ever used it so far to mix, and I've never finished anything in it. And again, we'll talk more about that when the bread is finished, but I wanted to try it. I was like, it would be cool if with sandwich bread especially, I could just kind of set it and let it go. And then when it's done, be done. But most of the people that I follow who make bread with their bread machine don't bake in their bread machine. Also, I was making a potato bread, so that's why I have potato flakes here. It's apparently the starch from the potatoes makes a softer sandwich bread. So that is what I was giving a go there. And we are starting our sourdough. As of recording this voiceover and the day that this vlog goes live, we are on day 6 of our sourdough starter getting started. I haven't shared a video of me feeding it because I feed it at around 8 p.m. at night. And so far I haven't filmed 8 p.m. yet, any day of the week. But also we bought this soda maker. We didn't get a Soda Stream. We got this Philips one. I just thought it was prettier, like a little more compact too. But my kiddo and my husband go through so much LaCroix. They drink, I think I was buying like 2 or 3 packs per week of LaCroix. So we thought maybe this would be a little bit more, cost effective, environmentally friendly, just to have a machine that we can make our own soda with. So I'm doing that, but we're trying to figure out how to make limoncello because that's their favorite flavor. They also like pamplemousse. So I want to figure out how to make that one next. But I think I figured out limoncello. It's basically 2/4 teaspoons of lemon extract and then 1/4 teaspoon of cake batter extract. And it tastes pretty much just like it, which is a wild thing. I didn't expect that. I found the recipe on Reddit of all places. And I spilled the lemon extract like all over myself and the counter. So that's why I'm cleaning it up. Here's the problem with this though. See the color of the cake batter extract? It ultimately is an unpleasant color. And we don't have the kiddo this week, so they haven't seen it yet. I'm just wondering if they're going to drink it. Because you know how like kids can be about stuff. I think my husband even eventually he drank the whole thing pretty quickly. I think like in one evening. But until he like really gave it a go, he didn't want to try it, I think. Just the color's off. It's off-putting, which is fine. This is me just kind of giving it a taste to see if it tastes like limoncello at all. And then I poured a glass for my husband to try and he liked it. So that works out well for all of us, I guess. I think part of the appeal of LaCroix, unfortunately for the kiddo, is the small grabbability of the can. You know, like he can just kind of grab a can and go. And I've noticed they're reaching for their like school lunch drinks more now that we're not using the cans. And I don't know how to like instill this new kind of pattern or new habit. I've thought about getting the little jars on Amazon that I've seen people use, but I also like don't want to solve the problem through buying things. That's like a habit I'm trying to break. So we shall see. I'm also making some broth while the bread is going and the English muffins are cooking. And then I had a work meeting. So I realized at this point, okay, I am making English muffins, I am baking bread, I am making vegetable broth, and I am taking a work meeting while like actively cooking these English muffins and vlogging at the same time. It's a little much. Okay, I understand that. I also kind of thrive in this environment, if I'm honest. So the work meeting is for the International Enneagram Association. I'm on one of their committees. And we had a meeting. I was like in our first inaugural session to talk about what our vision is, what we want to work on, and how that's going to look in the new year. And it was a pretty simple meeting, honestly. And it was kind of nice for me. I think as a person, I do better if I'm, kind of got my hands moving a little bit. And so it was kind of nice to be able to cook while it was going. And the broth and the bread and the bread maker, I mean, they were hands off for the most part. So that was okay. I also asked Obi to make us some bacon for the week, just to have for breakfast, because I was making the English muffins. I love a bacon, egg, and cheese. And so I thought it would be nice to have some bacon. He makes the best bacon. He puts brown sugar and black pepper on it and then bakes it in the oven with that rack like that. And it is so, so good. So that has been a real treat. We were not sure how it would reheat, and it's been great. We just you can heat it in the microwave for like 10, 15 seconds, or you can put it on the stove and reheat it really easily. And so far, so good. Nothing has felt off about that. And I just wanted to go ahead and make myself a little English muffin sandwich this morning, or I guess this was my lunch at this point. But it turned out really good. Things about the English muffins that I liked and things that I didn't like. I feel like they're a little soft. Like the English muffins that I get from the store have more of the nooks and crannies, that was like what separates it from like a dinner roll. So I feel like that was off. I also didn't have semolina flour to kind of coat the bottom. So that's not a huge problem, but I do think it's a different flavor. And I'm going to try a few different recipes. I think sourdough may be my preferred yeast for English muffins, just because in our Wild Grain subscription, we had sourdough English muffins and I loved them. So this is about the time where I need to clean up. So normally I feel like when I'm watching homesteading videos or videos about doing things in the kitchen, people do not show this part, right? They just show you the pretty parts. They zoom in on the dough pouring or the kneading, and then they don't show all of the cleanup in between. And I even edited out at least one cleaning session, maybe 2 cleaning sessions, because it is boring. It's boring to watch. But at the same time, I feel like it's real. And I want to show that between each of these little sessions in the kitchen, I'm doing a clean of everything, making sure the dishes are good. I don't have a dishwasher, so we're washing all these dishes by hand. And we're just kind of getting back into it. Now I wanted to do some meal prep for the week as well, and not necessarily cooking a ton of meals. I just wanted to have ingredients prepared. So, I worked on some sweet potatoes. I did some Brussels sprouts and I made some kale. I wanted to be able to just reheat things easily, put them on some rice and have a little bowl, like a little harvest bowl. And here's the thing that I ran into with this. I haven't used them yet. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. I made soup on Sunday night, and we've been eating that for lunch. And we just haven't used the ingredients yet. So my husband is home now while I'm recording this, and you might hear he's in the shower. So I'm going to keep going, though, because I want to get this video up for you before noon. So we're recording. So I pulled the bread out of the oven, and it is a little pale for my taste. I don't think it looks cute. I got burnt touching the pan, which was a silly move on my part. But kind of going back to what I was saying about meal prep, I wanted to get that done, but I just feel like maybe it is going to create food waste for us in the long run. And I feel like I'm constantly learning how to cut back on food waste, how to actually eat the food that we make. And I think working on Sunday, making a soup on Sunday is a really solid move. And that gets us lunch, I think through about Wednesday, probably, if we're both eating it. And then probably what I need to do is on Wednesday, do another little prep or make a big meal on Wednesday that we can use. Me putting cream on my little burn, which is, it is redder now than it was there. But it doesn't hurt anymore. So that's cool. And then, I had to make some coffee. I was really proud of this roasting that I did because I put the sweet potatoes in for 20 minutes, took them out, added the Brussels sprouts, put them both back in for another, 20 minutes again. And then I pulled it out, put the kale in, took the sweet potatoes out, replaced it with the kale, and then baked it again, I think for another 15 minutes, and everything got done perfectly. I didn't have to dirty 2 pans, and I just felt really proud of that, honestly. It's the small things, you know. Be proud of yourself at every moment that you can, I think. But yeah, all of that to say, I feel like I'm still figuring out what the right kind of method is for me in terms of timing meal prep, using up our vegetables, and all of those things. We every other week get every plate, which is awesome, quite frankly, for that kind of thing, because it helps us a lot. I want to talk about the bread as well, but I just want to tell you really quickly what I'm doing here. I moved out of my co-work office, and I had a permanent desk there, so I kept a lot of stuff there. And I'm just integrating all of that into our home office, which means I get to bring my iMac home, and I have loved that. But here I am. I'm just kind of unpacking and setting things up and doing a little dust and clean. But I want to really quickly talk about the bread machine bread. So you saw it. It's not cute. It tasted fine, but not great. Like it wasn't, I know my kid's not going to eat it. That's the most important thing, because like they're the main person who eats sandwich bread in our house. So I need it to be edible by them. So I'm going to work on a different recipe probably today. I think I might try brioche, because the bread we normally buy is Sara Lee artisanal bread. It's very, very soft, a little sweet. I believe it is a potato bread, but this potato bread was not what we're going for. I also think to some degree I will just have to navigate it. You know, I'm just going to have to try different recipes. I think baking it out of the bread machine is probably the way that I will always go from now on. Just starting it in the bread machine, finishing it in the oven. I think that's just gonna be better. And I don't mind like shaping a loaf or, you know, doing what I need to do. The bread machine does most of the hard work and has a perfect little place for it to rise. So I don't think that'll be too difficult. And so yeah, that's kind of the theory on how the bread went. Basically, everything is just fine so far. I'm looking more and more for recipes that I really like, and when I have one that I feel like, oh, this is the one, I will definitely let you know. Also, I'm throwing away my goodies packets because I went to the doctor this past week for just my regular checkup, but I've been having some headaches, and I was talking to her about it, and then she was like, well, what do you take for them? And I was like, well, I take goodies normally. And she said, stop taking those immediately. And I was like, oh, okay. She said that she's pretty sure that it had to have been invented by gastroenterologists, or like, you know, doctors for your stomach, because it basically just immediately starts to eat away at your stomach. So, oops. I just got rid of all of ours, and I'm kind of sad about it, because goodies is, if you have ever been a goodies taker, you understand the appeal, because it makes your headaches go away so quickly. But also, you know, it's not worth it. So the thing that you see me doing here is going through my closet for winter. My closet has just been piling up. It has all of my fall items still out, which is basically just a mix of my summer items and my winter items. And I needed to stop pretending like I'm going to be wearing dresses again for another few months, and let them go, put them away, and then make some room in my closet, which feels great. So up at the top, I have my sweaters, and then I have my matching kind of sweat sets. And then I am just putting the shoes away that I don't wear as often, you know, if I just for working out or more summery shoes, into that basket. And then I'm putting everything else away. After I finished that, I went in to clean and organize the fridge, do another kitchen cleanup, and make sure all of the prepped food was put away, and kind of finished it out that way. This little container of pineapple has lasted me 2 weeks. It was $6, but it was taking up a lot of space in the fridge. So I needed to consolidate it. And so I just put it in a mason jar, and we're back again for another cleaning sesh. Here's the thing. I normally buy the like seasonal scented dish soap for the season, like for fall or winter. But Dawn is like the one for cooking off oils and things. It's just amazing. So I've been using the power wash for that. But after I did the final clean, I was like, I'm eating frozen pizza tonight. I made frozen pizza and a salad. I have that in the oven, and I just lit some candles, made some tea. This tea was a pear and blackberry one. It was pretty good. Not my fave, but not terrible. And I just sat down on the couch and read until Opie got off work. He gets off later on Saturdays, like 7:30. And so I just have a little bit more time to chill. And that's what I did. Thank you guys so much for joining me for a Saturday in my life. I will see ya for the next one. Bye.